Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. Today we're going to do some French knitting and we're going to knit in two colours. Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. Yeah, we're going to do some French knitting today, and the idea of this video is to help you change colour, because it can get a bit boring if you're using the same colour all the way through. You may want to change once, twice or even 3 times while you're knitting through a long piece. So let's make it interesting, let's change colour. Now, if you've watched a couple of my other videos on French knitting, how to cast off French knitting and how to start French knitting, then you may be thinking, I want some other queries answered as well, and those videos are coming up in the next couple of weeks. So hit subscribe and click on the little bell, and then you'll be notified when those videos appear. YouTube will let you know. Right, so let's change colour while we're knitting. Alright then, you're doing pretty well with your French knitting, you're going fine, and you think, I really fancy changing the colour. How do I do that? There are lots of ways that you can join yarn in the middle, and it can get very complicated, and I say just let's do it nice and easily. Let's just make a knot, and believe me, when it's sat there, you do not notice it. You can see here, I've changed the colour twice, and you really do not notice it's not bulky, there's nothing big about it, and it's not hard or really confused, and you don't see the knot on the outside either. So I'm going to show you how I change yarn. All you need is your French knitting, another colour of yarn, and a pair of scissors. So I'm going to cut this current yarn here, and I'm going to pull in the yarn that I want to work with. Now, I'm going to tie a knot in this, but what I want to do is show you it with a much thicker yarn so that you can see what I'm doing much more easily. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and I will show you with this green yarn, and I will find the end. There we are. And this white yarn. There you go. So this is super chunky yarn, and it's a lot easier to see the knot. So when you tie a knot, the long ends of the yarn are going to be sitting at the base, and you're going to have the top ends up here, and you're going to go cross over and loop it around, and then you'll do the same thing again from the right. You'll cross it over and you'll loop that through the hole this time. So that's fine. You think that's fine, no problem. And it looks fine, doesn't it? There's no issue with that. What I'm going to do is just pull those stitches, those ends over, and then turn it so the ends of the yarn can now tie a knot underneath the original loop. So we're going to now do a cross it over and loop it through the hole. That gives you a much tighter knot. So the original 2 knots are on this side, and then you turn it over and you do a single knot on this side. That is much tighter. That is not coming loose. If you just do the 2 wrap and loop, then you could well have it coming undone. This is what I've done in the past, and it has come undone. So suddenly in the middle of my knitting, there's a hole when I wasn't expecting it. This by doing 3 loops, 2 on one side and then turning it over and wrapping on the other side, means that it makes it that bit much more sturdy. I'm going to now do that with this yarn here. So we're going to cross over and loop, cross over and loop, and now turn it over and cross over and loop. Okay, now you see why you needed to see it on the thicker yarn. Right, I'm now going to French knit until I get to the knot, and then you'll see what I do. Okay, we have the knot coming up, so I'm going to knit this next stitch because that's just before the knot. And then I'm going to pull the loop down here, pull the strand down here, and you can see those 2 ends are now sitting very happily inside the the loops. So just push that through there to make sure that it's not across any of the loops at the moment. Now I'm going to change colour, and I'm going to do 1, 2, and now keep that couple of strands inside and do a couple more. And you can just gently see that those strands, as long as you keep them on the inside, are going to fall into the tube of knitting. Really clever. You don't have to do much. That's all you need. And it will just very gently, very slowly change colour. We now have a couple of rows of blue, and the fun part is, just keep those yarns inside. Fun part is you just kind of going, when's it coming out the other side? You just keep looking at it and going, when's it happening? Am I there yet? I hope that's made it easier for you. You can now change colour like a trooper, and you can change it as many times as you like. So have great fun with that, and yeah, share with me on my Facebook page or on Instagram as well if you like. #KnitWithHannah. I'd love to see what you've been up to. Like I said at the beginning, I will see you for more French knitting videos in a couple of weeks. And if you'd like to find out more about French knitting and more about knitting for children, then I have a whole course available on my website, When Can I Knit to Mummy? And I will link to that in the description below as well, so you can find out more about that. There's lots more French knitting videos and other yarn crafts along with the tutorials for knitting. I will see you next week. Bye for now. Happy French knitting!